Hello.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I am Binay Chaudhary.
Okay. I think we can start with the presentation.
Yeah, ma'am. Can I start this now, my presentation?
Okay, just wait. So your paper is structural path analysis. Am I right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, please, you can start.
Um, Good afternoon, madam. My name is Binay Chaudhary. I am from Malaysia. Here is my topic: structure path analysis Bangladesh SME sustainably through social media marketing. So this research paper, we are four member. We are already prepared. Dr. Rashidul Haq is our supervisor. So this now I am starting my slide. Here
Yeah,
is
please
a
start.
here is a first slide is a background of the study. So I studied now many of the world top firm define sustainability on a small and medium-sized enterprise for crucial resources. Their success sustainably impact the economic countries where the SMEs grow. And second, despite the rising significance of a globalization, the source of a small and medium-sized business is dependent on cutting as technology. And third is there is some evidence that a SMM may assist a small medium entrepreneurship in adapting a new technology. However, the vast majority of research in this area is conducted from the perspective of Western economy and their particular needs, goals, and viewpoints. And the last point is this investigation seek to understand the element that influence the board adoption of a social media marketing method. Here is my third slide, research problem. So first, my research problem is a small and medium-sized firm, long-term expansion and success may be facilities by using improved widely known cost-effective marketing strategy. And second research problem is for developing nations such as Bangladesh, a small and medium-sized enterprise are essential to economic progress. Many lack the technical know how the suffer financially. And third research problem is a combination of a circumstance lead to this result. Access to timely relevant information by social media platform and apps by stimulate customer engagement. And third, my research problem, even though a small and medium-sized business can achieve sustainable business growth through the effective and efficient use of uh, outcomes, though the use of a small mediums application and how highlights mechanism. And my third slide is research objective. Here is the aim of this study to identify the following relationship, to identify the influence of a perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, the adoption of e-business technology, social media marketing on SME, sustainability. The second research objective, to what extent the adoption of a e-business medias, the relationship of a perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use technology on a small medium entrepreneurship sustainability. And third, my research objective, to what extent social media marketing media, the relationship of a perceived usefulness, perceived use of use technology on SME sustainability. Here is my fourth slide is a literacy review. Uh, where literacy review is a seven criteria. First is the perceived usefulness, and second is the perceived ease of use. And third option is the adoption of e-business technology. And next literacy review is the social media marketing and a small medium entrepreneurship sustainability. So here is a hypothesis. There have a seven hypotheses we are identify. Here is the first hypothesis. There is a positive relationship between perceived usefulness and e-business technology. And second hypothesis, there is a positive relationship between perceived usefulness and social media marketing. And third hypothesis, there is a positive relationship between perceived ease of use and e-business technology. And next, there is a positive relationship between a perceived ease of use social media marketing. And next hypothesis, there is a positive relationship between adopting e-business technologies and social media marketing. And then hypothesis, there is a positive relationship between adopting e-business technology and a small medium entrepreneurship sustainability. And last hypothesis, we are identified there is a positive relationship between social media marketing and a small medium entrepreneurship sustainability. Hello.
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. So next slide is a construction reliability. So we are identify e-business technology adoption, perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness. Here, construct of a reliability, we are identify Chronovec alpha, composite reliability, and average variance. So we are identify Chronovec alpha is a 0.829 and receive is to use of a 0.7280 and perceive usefulness is a 0.821. And this site 0.830 and 0.808 and 0.836, and average variance extracted 0.595, 0.540 and 0.584. So construct reliability, we are identify R square analysis and F square analysis. So here this Chronovec alpha is a 0.8.32, a small medium and entrepreneurship sustainability, and composite reliability is a 0.845 and average extracted 0.66. And social media marketing, we are identify 0.864 and 0.882 and 0.600. So my next slide. Development hypothesis testing based on active data. So hypothesis as a first hypothesis, there is a positive relationship between perceived usefulness and e-business technology is a T statics 3.694 and p-value 0.00. This is a supported, and hypothesis 2 is a 0.9344. P-value is 0.00. This is a supported, and hypothesis 3 is T statics 7.045. P-value is 0.00. This supported, and hypothesis 4 is a 7.578. P-value is a 0.00 is a supported, and fourth hypothesis is a point is 2.393. P-value is 0.017 is supported, and next hypothesis 3.710. This is a supported, and finally hypothesis 8.77. P-value is a 0.0. This is a supported. Discuss on the finding. The finding validate is of the 7 hypotheses that were explored. Initially, it was shown that the link between PU and EBT adoption had a p-value of 0.00, which is quite insignificant. Consequently, PU also has a very significant influence on SMME. P equal is a 0.00. According to the result, PEOU had as a statistically significant effect on both the um, scatter plots is the EBT and SMM. Phi value is a 0.1 and phi value is a 0.001 respectively. And third discussion on the finding, phi value of a 0.00 such the EBT implementation impact SMM, the implementation of EBT increase of the long-term success SME according to the research. And the last discussed of the finding, and the faster examination of a client needs has been made possible by quality management service due to SMM's constant desire for a unique product marketing techniques. Employees have grown more imaginative. And next slide is a contribution and implication. Perceived utility and usability influence the adoption rate of e-business, the efficiency of a social media marketing, and the long-term profitability of a small and medium-sized enterprise. The result of this research indicate that user feedback on the utility and simplicity of the new piece of a corporate technology does not affect the performance of a social media marketing, but it may alter the rate of technology adoption. And second is a contribution of an implication. This article contains value information for Bangladesh, a small medium entrepreneurship on the long-term success, e-business adoption, and social media marketing. Both theory and practice may be affected by this finding. And finally, the results of this study are accurate. The might assist a small medium entrepreneurship, both emerging and developed nation, strengthen their digital marketing strategy. So last slide is the conclusion. Institution and a small medium entrepreneurship may collaborate effectively by a community service program in which university provide social media marketing courses, and a small and medium sized enterprise get a social media marketing instruction. Second, a small medium marketing needs a data exchange, the digital marketplace tailored precisely to their requirement. The agency may get a direct assistance from the Department of the Industry and Trade, particularly in the marketing field, to help develop. It is a planted by the intelligent use of a social media. And last topic, last point is consequently a more in a depth examination of the small medium entrepreneurship ecosystem in Bangladesh will show a complete collection of characteristics and factor that a contribution long-term sustainability, the research of the success, a small medium size entrepreneurship, the wealth of information and applies in the Bangladesh environment. Thank you, ma'am.
Great, sir, because this kind of study is of growing interest, among academicians, researchers, and practitioners, and they are understanding the role of small scale industry, small scale enterprises, and their sustainability, I would say, in the emerging economies. As far as this social media is concerned, my PhD topic was also on small scale enterprises. So I have seen your primary research done. I have one question, sir. So when you talk about the use of social media in SME, do you think that SME leadership team plays a vital role in supporting this usage of SMM tools?
Yeah, ma'am. Because a small medium entrepreneurship are influence of the society as a nation in our country. So is the impact of the developing area.
Because what I feel is that yes, growing need is there because social media marketing is playing a vital role, because there must be some leadership team which should play a vital role in supporting actual usage of social media marketing. I really need to, because you have to accelerate sustainable business growth for SMEs. So a good leadership team should be there. What are your comments?
Actually, ma'am, is a positive thinking.
Hmm.
the impact of social media marketing of a small media entrepreneurship sustainability.
Okay. Are they working on secure generation of web development, small scale enterprises?
Yeah, ma'am. This company needs advertising and new activity and build customer loyalty and predict user future purchase behavior.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Good primary
Thank
research
you,
has
ma'am.
been done by you. Very good. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
You can
Can
stop
I let
sharing.
this?
Can we have our next presenter?
A very good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. Yeah.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yeah, absolutely. It is visible. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So good afternoon. I'll be presenting the topic about advancing use of fintech service among Indian adults and a study using that model. The paper will be presented by Dr. Renu Sharma, ma'am, that is Professor, Department of Management, Institute of Innovation and Technology and Management, and myself, Ms. Trishali Khanna, as Assistant Professor, Department of Management and the Institution of Management and Technology.
I would request Dr. T.R. Mudgal to please switch off your audio. There is a disturbance. I'm not able to hear participants. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, Trishali, you can continue.
1 second. Can I start, ma'am?
Yes, you can start.
Okay, so the topic of our study is the advancing use of fintech service among the Indian adults, which is a study using an UTAT model. So fintech revolution has been facilitated by the explosion of digital payment in the India. So previously there, as you all know, that previously there have been various fintech methods that has been used. Before fintech, that has been cash, checks, plastics, and traditional loan, which has already been replaced by e-wallet transactions. So digital form of payment has swiftly replaced the traditional cash-based payment system during the few decades. In India, this ecosystem has significant amount of potential to expand as Government of India and RBI supports reforms are intended to increase digitalization and user friendliness among countries' fintech growing industry. So the objective of research is to investigate the impact of UTED components, which are mainly four. And in this study, we have done study using 246 respondents using non-probability sampling techniques. The software used here is this software Smart PLS4. So the result of the study reveals that social influence and performance expectancy are significantly predicted the behavior intention to use fintech service among adults, where the behavior intention to use is the positive associated with the use behavior of the respondent. Continuing further, let us start with the introduction of the topic. So introducing the word finance and technology combined to form fintech, which denotes the application of technology to enhance financial activities, including service, goods, or anything linked to finance or to client through simpler and quicker means. So maybe it be using technology which has been it has been fast transition over 50 years period, and it has impacted the generation over the period of time. So the transformation by the recent rapid development of fintech, which includes loan payment, investigating services, etc. Digital access and usage of formal financial service is the definition of digital financial inclusion. Increasingly more financial services such as you can access and receive payment online, credit facilities, savings, remittances, insurance, etc. have been a popular tool among our generation. And it has not only been used by our generation, which has been young adults and older generation as well. So significantly, the older or the adult generation have increased the usage of this. It has some demand side and supply side dimension towards it. Demand side deals with customers and the needs and requirement, while supply side deals with the financial service providers, include banks, financial institutions, fintech firms, etc. Over the period of time, as UPI and PM Jan Dhan Yojana has been launched, so due to which the significant portion of unbanked population has already plunged the banking system. So there has been quite increase in the number of banking activities done by various individuals, and this outbreak of COVID has also upsurged the use of digital payments method. So as India being the fastest growing market in terms of population of digital customers, as more and more citizens have adopted lifestyle made possible by digital technology. By 2025, there are likely 900 million digital users living in India according to the current trend. And according to the Global FinTechs report, 76% of the adult worldwide had an account with the bank or regulated organization, and this has gone up and increased to more than 76% from 51% from merely 2011 to 2021. For instance, more than 80 million adults in India made their first payment to digital during the epidemic period. So epidemic has upsurged the use of digital system. Moreover, the use of it has also been upsurged by UPI and Jan Dhan Yojana. Moving further, this research broadened our understanding of how elders in the culture accept and use digital financial tools. By analyzing behavior intention towards various technology in diverse cultural contexts and highlighting the findings from the other studies, it explored behavior technology towards technological adoption. If I talk about the model which I have used here, we have used here collectively is the Venkatesh model adopted developed in 2003, which has proposed the UTAT model, which aims to combine the usage model by analyzing 8 competing models. There have been 8 other competing models which has been analyzed, which includes the technological acceptance model, also known as TAM, and the other one is the theory of planned behavior, the theory of reasoned action, and combined TAM as well as TPP model. And the another one is motivational innovation diffusion theory. So all such 8 models have been combined and the constraint have been developed. The amalgamated constraint, namely performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition. Also, the behavior intention to use the system and usage behavior. This model has been proposed by Venkatesh in 2003. Moving further, if I talk about the objective of the study, so objective of the study involves assessing the use of digital services was the main objective of questionnaire conducted among 246 people aged 35 and above. This study addresses the following objectives. First, to investigate the impact of UTED components, which include performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition on the adult's behavior intention to use digital financial service. And second is to investigate how these constraints are interconnected. Moving further towards the research model, the research model has been developed in such a manner that it accesses the predictors such as PE, which means performance expectancy, EE is referred to as effort expectancy, and social influence is also referred to as SI, and financial and facilitating condition refers to as FC. On people intention to accept the use of financial services, the factor that may influence behavior intention of the respondent to use financial services are shown in the table below. Moving further towards our research model, each and every hypothesis have been carefully constructed and has been proposed using the system has been proposed to the literature, which clearly exhibit the performance.
Shani, your slides are not moving because I would love to see the hypothesis.
Okay, ma'am. Is the slide moving now?
It is still the models which you have proposed in your studies. I'm just seeing that slide.
Are you able to see the hypothesis model now? PEEESI1?
No, your screen sharing has stopped. I suppose I'm able to see your
One
staff
second.
room, I think.
One second.
You can again start sharing. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I hope it is visible now. Is it?
Not now it is visible. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll continue with the research model. So purpose
Mhm.
of this study to assess the strength of predictors, that is performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition on people intention to accept and use financial services. The factor may influence the behavior intentions of the respondent to use financial services as shown in the table. If I talk about the various hypotheses which have been adopted, so following are they? First is the performance expectancy. If the performance expectancy clearly means the degree to which person expects that use of information system will enable them to perform better. That is, using this system will help them to attain gain in the job performance level. So clearly, the literature exhibits the performance expectancy as a major significant relationship with intention to use. So first hypothesis, this forms the basis of our first hypothesis, which states that performance expectancy positively influence the behavior and intention of Indian adults to use financial service. Second is the effort expectancy. Effort expectancy refers to how simply a person accesses an information. It is a degree of ease associated with the use of system. So the as literature clearly intensify the usage. So hypothesis second has been developed. The proposed second hypothesis says that effort expectancy positively influence the behavior intention of Indian adults to use financial service. The third constraint of the Venkatesh model states that social influence, it refers to how strongly someone feels that adopting new technology can raise the position and prominence within the society. That is how our colleagues or the various peers involved within our ecosystem, how they influence the individual behavior towards using such type of technology. So third hypothesis says that social influence positively influence the behavior intention of Indian adults to use financial service. Moving further, which comes to the fourth constraint stating that facilitating condition. Facilitating condition refers to the tools or the technical or the mainly primarily the technological tools given by the organization or used by the individual over a period of time, and over the period of time they adopt a behavior of using such kind of services. So it refers to how much people believes organizational and technological tool facilitate the use of information technology. The literature clearly forms the hypothesis, which number 4 states that facilitating condition directly influence the usage behavior of Indian adults for financial service. Moving further is the behavior intention. As we have clearly seen the model before, all the three conditions, that is performance expectancy, effort expectancy, and social influence, clearly clearly influence behavior intention. So behavior intention is the respondent acknowledgement of services without considering the usage and implementation condition. Likewise, the research indicates the significant relationship between behavior and behavior intention. So hypothesis fifth states that behavior intention directly influence the use behavior of Indian adults for the financial services. The sample and the measures will be explained by the professor, Dr. Renu ma'am. So Renu ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Trishali ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So, for the purpose of this study, we have collected primary data through Google Forms, and 246 respondent. Actually, we have sent questionnaire to 300 people, but only 246 people responded. So, we have created two parts of the questionnaire. The first part of the questionnaire was related to the demographic variables like age, gender, highest qualification, and monthly income of the respondent. And the second part was prepared to measure the use of fintech services among Indian adults using the UTOT model. So in the second part of the questionnaire, we have used six variables with 22 items, namely performance expectancy PE, effort expectancy EE, social influence and facilitating condition, behavioral intention and to use the financial services and usage behavior. And all the variables were measured on 5-point Likert scale. As per the demographic variables profile of the respondents, Trishali ma'am, please change.
Yes, ma'am. I've changed, ma'am.
Okay, it will take some time. So as per the demographic variable profile of the respondent, majority of the respondents are females, female graduates of 35 to 45 years of age, and their monthly income is ranging from rupees 20,000 to 60,000. For data analysis purpose, we have used Smart PLS 4 because of the two reasons. If your data is not, it does not require a perfect distribution. Like if the data is not normally distributed, then also we can use Smart PLS. And if the sample size is small, we can go for Smart PLS. So keeping in mind these two conditions, we have used Smart PLS 4. And the reliability and validity of all the constructs were checked using confirmatory factory analysis in PLS SAM4 only. Please change, ma'am. Change the slide.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It is not visible.
Ma'am, I'll share it again, ma'am. 1 second.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
So you can see the results of confirmatory factory analysis. So all the items are having factor loading more than the cutoff point 0.6, except for the one item, which is FC4. So we have decided to drop the item. As far as this average variance extract and composite reliabilities are concerned, so all the values are above the cutoff point 0.5 and 0.7 respectively. So we consider the scale valid and reliable. We have also checked discriminant validity. Please change the slide.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I've changed, ma'am, already.
It
Are
will
you
take
able to
some time. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have used the test Fornell and Lacker criteria to find out the discriminant validity. And as per the criteria, the square root of AVE of all the latent variables should be greater than the correlation coefficient of the other variables. So that is also we have checked and we found that the scale is valid and reliable. Please change the slide, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So after checking confirmatory factor analysis, we have calculated the beta coefficient of the structure model, which is calculated and listed in the table. Please show the last table, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
It is not getting changed here.
I hope it's changed now.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So you can just see that this behavioral intention is explaining 75.7% variation in the use behavior as per the model. And the direct and indirect effects are shown here in the table. And we can just see that the use behavior intention, if we just check, it is explaining 89.5% variation. And these are the construct out of which only two constructs are significant as per the p-value. So the significant the significant constructs are here, it is shown in table 6. So as per the p-value, PE, performance expectancy, is significant and social influence is significant. So we have accepted hypothesis 1 and 3. At the same time, BI is also significantly related to usage behavior. So we have accepted hypothesis 4 as well. So we can say that the result of the study reveals that the proposed model accounted for 75.5% variation in the Indian adults' intention to use fintech services and 89.5% of the variance in the actual usage behavior. So, which is considered to be good as per the social sciences research. And as per the p value, we can just find out that these are the two significant construct PE and SI, and the other FC and EE are not the significance construct of the latent variable BI. Hence, it can be concluded from the study that the young adults intend to use fintech services if they find that the services will help them to attain gain in job performance, or using fintech services will raise their status in the society. This is the meaning of the term PE and SI. And as far as the scope of the study is concerned, this study could be a great help to the marketers of the fintech services as they can design their advertising campaign around the results of this study. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Renu and Trishali ma'am. I have 3, 4 questions because when you're talking about this model, this model has been criticized number of times because of, multiple constructs which have been used in this model. But that is not the question. You have used UTAT model 1 or 2?
Ma'am, we have used UTED model 1. So UTED model 1 consists of 4 constraints, which are namely performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition. We have, as per now, not included
I was only confused because it's a wonderful study. I was only confused as a consumer because UTOT model 1 is all about, if I talk about field of application, it is within an organization, and use of, UTOT model 2 is within the consumer market. So if I see that you have done study on adults and youngsters, don't you think so that UTAT model 2 should be used, which is more relevant for the consumer markets?
Ma'am, firstly, the research study has been related to the adult technology, and our scope of study is limited to just finding out the application towards it. So, estimating the probability of success of technological usage and to evaluate the adoption of various technological methods. That is the reason why we have used UTAT model, and we have been limited to UTAT model specifically and not gone to extensive study further.
Okay. Okay. My second question, because lot many theories have contributed in your research paper. Do you think theory of planned behavior and theory of reasoned action has actually contributed in your study?
Yes, ma'am. This forms the basis of the other constraint. The theory of planned behavior gives us the formation of performance expectancy, as they have measured performance expectancy using various scales, and out of which Venkatesh in 2003 model have gathered few constraints out of it and developed the perceived information and just developed the 4 constraint out of it.
And what
So
is the
mainly,
approximate?
it
What
if
is
I,
the approximately fintech adoption rate in India, if we talk about?
ma'am, if I talk about fintech adoption rate, it has increased over a period of time. So if I come to this slide which I have talked about, so the slide here is that over the period of time, digital financial services have been increasingly seen, and with the advent of UPI and PM Jan Dhan Yojana, have significant portion of unbanked population have already plunged the banking system, which is already being not possible. That is, in order to include every individual is not possible, and using fintech service have enabled the digital financial inclusion easier in this manner, and more than 80 million adults in India made their first payment to the digital merchant during the epidemic itself. And the period between 2011 to 2021, there have been significant jump in the people usage, especially adults, from 51 to 76%. And these reports have been global. These reports are like Global Fintechs report, which has been done in 2021
Ma'am, I
itself.
think it is approximately 80%.
Yeah, it is 80% because global average is near about 64 to 65%. Yes. And now this is just a suggestion. This is just a suggestion because you have done wonderful study and you have done on adults. I think the direction for future research can be if you really carry on this study, a comparison of baby boomers and maybe millennials, Generation X and Generation Z. That will be a wonderful study in future. That is just a suggestion. You can do comparison between all these four groups.
Noted.
Yes,
Great,
ma'am.
great
We'll
presentation.
Thank you.
incorporate.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for the suggestion.
Thank you so much, Dr. Renu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Srishali ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, conference organizer, can we have the next presentation? We already done with 9 presentations.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Do we have any other participant here?
Yeah, actually, because we can take a call.
Okay. Uh, I'll discuss with my heads, ma'am. Give me 2 minutes.
Just discuss so that we should not wind up. Maybe participants are coming as per their, this thing, timing.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Is my screen visible, madam?
Yes, 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 it is visible. You are presenting which paper, sir? Chemical and environment. Okay, fine. Fine.
Chemical and environmental matter analysis of heavy metal contamination in leafy vegetables in Navi Mumbai. So in this study, we carried out to evaluate the heavy metal contamination in leafy vegetables in urban area Navi Mumbai. And the samples of 4 leafy vegetables, namely spinach, radish, mayalu, and red mud, were collected from Airoli, Navi Mumbai. The sites are nearby industry, railway line, and heavy road traffic. And heavy metals are determined in washed and unwashed bulk samples for visual identification of natural and anthropogenic particulates, geochemical magnetic measurements, and scanning electron microscopy analysis of some washed and unwashed vegetable samples are carried out. The observed data of heavy metals in unwashed and washed samples were compared with the values of World Health Organization. When compared with the data of WHO limit, the values of iron and lead concentration were found to be more than permissible limits, whereas the concentrations of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel were lower than the safe limits. The correlation coefficients between the magnetic susceptibility and concentration of various elements in washed and unwashed vegetable samples are computed. Scanning electron microscopy images in the unwashed samples show the presence of a significant amount of magnetic spherules. Combined study of magnetic and chemical analysis provide informative results about shape, size, and surface structure of particles contained in vegetables. So the industrial, agriculture, and municipal efficient discharges to the marine environment continue to be a significant environmental concern because of the chemicals present in the environment. It is well known that growing and diversifying chemical industry enhance the risk of environmental pollution by the increasing distribution of chemicals in the environment. Although chemicals have contributed a great benefit to our modern society, chemicals have also contributed to the adverse impacts on the ecosystem at local, regional, and global levels. Effective effluent quality monitoring includes evaluating preventive measures based on the identification of possible human health hazards and in preventing the degradation of the aquatic environment. Pollution caused by heavy metals in environment is of great concern to public health. The source of heavy metals in plant to a high concentration. This may result serious adverse effects on human health on consumption. Moreover, heavy metals have a limited useful concentration window. On a lower side, heavy metals result in deficiency, and on the other hand, they are toxic because they tend to bioaccumulate in plants and animals. The bioconcentrate in food chains, heavy metals are specific to various organs in the body. So observed differences are attributed to soil parameter treatments as a function of iron and other pollutants during the growth period of plants. Consequent upon some studies examined the effects of environmental pollution on chemical and magnetic properties of soils and plant biomass are related to biomonitoring of air quality. In Navi Mumbai region, it will come in the next slides. I will show this map of the Navi Mumbai. Consists of highly polluted urban areas like Airoli, Vashi, Nerul, Turbe, and Belapur. There is a need to carry out extensive investigation in Navi Mumbai region to obtain data on the levels of metals present in vegetables. Reports are available in literature on results obtained from these areas. Already few results we have published since 2004, 12, 22, and 22. All are our papers here only. So vegetable samples were collected and analyzed generally by chemical analysis methods. Standard geochemical methods and magnetic measurements are used as complementary to chemical method. In the present work, fast and inexpensive magnetic proxy technique are developed. Present study may serve as complementary and alternative tools to standard environmental chemical analysis, particularly in characterization of heavy metals, particles embedded in vegetable plants. The results were used to evaluate the impact of industrial pollution on vegetable crops growing in contaminated soil in the Navi Mumbai region. This is the study area. The study area is here. Yeah, this is the study area where the dots are shown. Here we have collected samples of these vegetables. So samples we collected were the leafy vegetables were chosen for present study, and they are spinach, radish, mayalu, and red mart. Samples were collected from the sites around sector 17, Airoli, Navi Mumbai, and these sites were chosen mainly because the vegetable plants are cultivated using wastewater from nearby industry and heavy road traffic prevails around this area. Vegetables were handpicked using vinyl gloves, carefully packed into polythene bags and labeled systematically. Only eatable parts of these vegetables were used for the study and analysis. We divided vegetables samples in two groups. To remove dust particle, one group was thoroughly washed several times with the tap water and then distilled water. Second group was left unwashed to evaluate percentage reduction of toxic components by washing. All the samples were dried in an oven at 80 degrees Celsius for 24 hours. The heavy metal determination was performed on washed and unwashed bulk samples using a spectrometer, AMATEC, and by the turboquant powder method. Samples were also analyzed for concentration, mineralogy, and grain size magnetic properties. For visual identification of natural and anthropogenic particulates, scanned electron microscopy analysis of some washed and unwashed vegetable samples was carried out. Geochemical and mineral magnetic measurements were carried out at the Indian Institute of Geomagnetism in Navi Mumbai. The observed data were compared with the data of World Health Organization, and a few samples of dust-loaded vegetables were analyzed for fly gas pollution contribution. This is the study area. So we did here X-ray fluorescence analysis and then magnetic measurements followed by some chemical analysis. So XRF technique was used for the analysis of heavy metals in bulk samples. 20 gram of dried sample of vegetable was ground for 20 minutes in a planetary monomill, and 2 gram of ground material was used for analysis. For the analysis of iron, nickel, copper, zinc, lead, and manganese in the vegetables. For magnetic measurements, magnetic concentration parameters, mineralogy, and grain size properties of powdered samples were packed for this in 8 cc plastic bottles, and the magnetic susceptibility and hysteretic Riemann magnetization, saturated isothermal Riemann magnetization, soft IRM, like that parameters were analyzed, and we plotted graphs also. They will come in the subsequent slides. So for visual identification of natural and anthropogenic particulates, scanning electron microscopy, analysis of some unwashed vegetables was done. Magnetic susceptibility was measured using KLY Kappa bridge, and least count of that is 3 into 10 to the minus 8 SI units. SIRM was used by inducing 1 Tesla steady pulse magnetizer field using a pulse magnetizer, and the parameter soft IRM is used to estimate the relative concentration of low coercive minerals. Mole spin spinner magnetometer is used to measure all types of magnetizations. We used scanning electron microscopy also, and the results are shown. They will come in the table. What is there? And according to the results, we have concentration of iron is maximum in Myalu and minimum in spinach in unwashed samples. After washing, also concentration of iron was maximum in Myalu and minimum in radish. Concentration of heavy metal in unwashed sample is more than the washed sample, suggesting surface contamination. The order of percentage reduction of iron in unwashed samples is like this: makes radish, then Myalu, then red mud, then spinach. So observed value of iron in unwashed vegetables are above the safe limit as shown by as approved by World Health Organization 425 milligram per kg. So these are the value. This is the table which is showing the value of iron, nickel, copper, zinc, lead, and manganese in washed and unwashed samples. And if we see here the graph, these are the value which are recommended by World Health Organization. This is in green one, and this blue pillar is showing the value in unwashed, and the red pillar is showing the value in washed sample. So we see here in this area arrowly, the samples of leafy vegetables. They are above. Although in case of zinc, somehow we see relevance is there, but the value of lead we see WHO is showing very less value, less than 5, while for these values, the Myalu, red martis, radish, unwashed samples, very toxic effects are there in this area, not good for health. And here we see the value of manganese are very high, as recommended by World Health Organization, while in these samples the values are found to be very low. Same is the case with nickel. Recommended value are above around 70, but the value which are observed are below 20. Again, not good for health. So except zinc, all the values of copper, nickel, iron, manganese, and lead are not in relevance with as recommended by World Health Organization. So this figure that we see, the second figure, this figure shows the accumulation of heavy metals in unwashed and washed vegetable samples compared with safe limit. Concentration of nickel is maximum in Myalu and minimum in spinach. So all this data which is written here is explained through these graphs, that the reduction of values copper, zinc 44%, 18%, 149.85 for spinach value. So these values all are shown in the graph itself. And here we see in this table, the steady level of lead is found to be in the range of 0.447 to 1.088 in unwashed vegetable samples. After the washing, the transfer factor was decreased, but the concentration of lead is maximum compared to World Health Organization. Probably pollutants in irrigation water, farm, or pollution from the highway traffic may lead to high levels of lead in these vegetables. The TF values of iron ranged from 0.024 to 0.053 and nickel from 0.073 to 0.121. Copper values, the values of copper are in this range. So all this data which is written here is already explained in the table, that the value of iron, nickel, zinc, manganese, and copper are not in relevance with the as recommended by the World Health Organization. And the high content of lead in all plant species from selected data, selected area is in agreement with the topsoils content nearby the heavy traffic. Yeah, these are the transfer factor of soil to plant. How the material which was observed in soil is transferring to metals. You see the red one is the washed value and the blue one is for the unwashed. And then the correlation factor is seen here. So 5%, so 77, somewhere it is in good agreement. For some values, it is not 68% here, 38%, 6%. So like that transfer factor was also calculated, which is so relationship of magnetic susceptibility with heavy metals concentration. These are the other parameters. We observe S ratio. These are magnetic parameters. S ratio, ARM by susceptibility, ARM by SIRM, hard IRM, soft IRM. So these all parameters which are studied for these values: Myalu, red mart, spinach, radish. These are SIRM values. So they are showing the analysis of magnetic minerals in these parameters. The magnetic concentration parameters, the values of this susceptibility depend on kind of magnetic material, and the results of susceptibility and SIRM for unwashed and washed vegetable samples are shown in table 1.3 and figure 5 we have seen earlier. The susceptibility of unwashed vegetable varied from 2.49 to 4.9 range, and in washed samples 0.66 to 1.16 range. So susceptibility of Myalu unwashed and washed values low in spinach, and average susceptibility value for unwashed sample was 3.86 units, and in unwashed sample it was 0.85. SIRM value also ranging from 263 to 501. The S ratio, soft IRM and high IRM are magnetic mineralogy dependent parameters. S ratio is dimensionless parameter. It is an indicator of content of ferromagnetic versus antiferromagnetic minerals. So values close to 1 correspond to predominance of ferromagnetic minerals in these vegetables. The range of S ratio for unwashed sample is around 1, and for washed sample bit higher. So, and the soft IRM varies from 2 to 3.7 to 423.05, and hard IRM varies from 3.3 in unwashed samples. Whereas the washed samples, soft IRM varies from 51 to 98, and hard IRM varies from 0.1 to 2.93. This is respectively. So generally, soft IRM is a measure of concentration of ferromagnetic materials, while hard IRM is used to estimate the total concentration of antiferromagnetic minerals. From figure 5, we see the value of S ratio are of order of 1, and that of soft IRM are high. These are the values which are seen here in this S ratio value. These are the S ratio value approximately near to 1 in the unwashed samples. The values are higher in these washed samples rather than unwashed, as red pillars are showing this thing. Similarly, the concentration ARM by SRM, ARM by susceptibility, they are also found higher for the washed vegetables rather than the unwashed. Grain size analysis was also done by using the magnetic parameters. These parameters which are here, this S ratio, ARM susceptibility, ARM by SRM, they are also the size of grains in these materials, and all this data is shown here in this slide at how and this size is varying. For example, if I talk about ARM by low field susceptibility, so observed value are in this order: radish, spinach, Myalu. While in case of unwashed sample, same was not the seen. It was red mart, then spinach, Myalu, and radish. Figures are absolutely changed. Myalu to radish to that how it affects washing and unwashing of the vegetables. Scanning electron microscopy were performed to obtain information on particle morphology, shape, and size. It is already established that particles originated in high temperature combustion process and in vehicular exhaust are mostly spherical in shape and are mostly in the size range of 20 micrometer. Microscopic investigation of magnetic extracts provides semi-quantitative information about the relative content of magnetic particulate in the sample. SEM images in the unwashed sample show a significant amount of magnetic sphericals. So these observations support the results from magnetic and chemical analysis, providing about shape, size, and surface structure of the magnetic particles contained in the vegetables. What we conclude is the study presents potential use of magnetic measurements and accumulation of heavy metal pollution in urban vast and unvashed vegetables is verified. Observed value of heavy metal concentration of iron and lead are above the safe limit in unvashed and vast samples as compared to guidelines given by WHO, and the transfer factor in unvashed samples show more as compared to vast samples. Transfer factor for lead in unvashed and vast samples shows that it is high as compared to World Health Organization. Similarly, by comparative study of heavy metal in water, soil, dust, which clearly shows the source of iron and lead is due to the anthropogenic activities. Therefore, these vegetables are not good for consumption from the point of view of human health. The low susceptibility values show a significant correlation with the concentration of iron, nickel, zinc, lead, and weak correlation copper, manganese in unwashed vegetable samples. In contrast to chemical analysis techniques, magnetic measurement techniques provide us cheaper and less time consuming methods for probable vegetable pollution. Also, this study supports that low susceptibility measurements can be used as a proxy measure for the degree of heavy metal contamination, revealing the distribution of pollution parts in such industrial areas. And we acknowledge Indian Institute of Geomagnetism, Navi Mumbai, for providing the lab facilities. Thank you.
Great, sir. Great. It's a wonderful presentation, very knowledgeable. We should know this. This is out of curiosity I'm asking, because it's not a question. Don't consider it as a question. Like,
yes,
this is like very dangerous, because I think this toxic comes from soil. So don't you think so? It is very, very risky for human health.
Yes, definitely. That's why we are working on the environmental magnetic techniques. Sometimes on vegetables, sometimes on leaves, and sometimes also for the contamination in the mangroves also. We have published few very good results in the International Journal of Pollution on the mangroves, and we found that the area in the Mumbai near Urvashi, there is a Tata plant, and it was running Tata power plant. It was running without having precipitors, and the fine carbon particles which are emitted from that chimney, and they were of order of micron. And these microwater particles, they are just sitting on our skin and they go directly in our veins, in blood. There is no need, if somehow, as we were talking about COVID, nowadays we are putting masks on our faces. But what of these finer particles which are sitting on our skin and directly going in our blood, and they causes the skin cancer? We published a report on that. And here we are seeing in these vegetables, the values of the lead, toxic, that is toxic for health. Even petrol, unleaded petrol, government is promoting, and how dangerous it is to use the vegetables in such area.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just thought that I'm not a chairperson. I was very much curious, because this is a buffering of what should I say, acidic substances, like which can be very, very harmful, very harmful.
And this is what we are eating nowadays, especially in those areas which are high dense populated. There it is very difficult to.
Is government doing something on this? Like, now it is again out of curiosity I'm asking. I mean, there should be some precautions or some steps to be taken regarding this.
In case of the powerhouses and the chimneys that where the brickworks are there, government has put some norms to use them precipitators. So if they are using precipitators, then only smoke will come out from the chimneys and these carbon particles. That's it. One more reason is there. They have put a pollution control for every vehicle. We get for payment of 100-200 rupees. Just what are they doing? They are not doing their job with honesty. Just they give a certificate for our car, for our scooter. Just pay 100 rupees or 200 rupees. They give the pollution certificate, but they are playing with our health. They should do it with honesty.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is an eye-opening, I would say. Sir, wonderful data provided by you. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we have our next presenter? Can we have our next presenter? Am I audible?
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. Some interruption break was.
Yes, I think some interruption was there. Really, sir, it is an eye-opening presentation. I would say good insights have been given by you. Really excellent, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Can we have our next presenter? Anybody is there to present? Any other author, presenter? If there is no presentation, shall we close the session?
Ma'am, we have already messaged in the group that we
Yes,
will
yes. It
be
has been
closing
messaged
it.
number of times. Yeah.
Yes.
I think there is no presenter, so we will just wind up the presentation, I would say, because we have given lot many reminders.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was the wonderful session where we have a presentation by Dr. Shilpa on the role of IP in the value of startup, then by Rita Seni, significance of anemia screening devices, which was again a knowledgeable session, I would say, then by Dr. Shaina Arora, courtesy at workplace. Again, we had presentation on analyzing customer loyalty. This was again a wonderful presentation. You see, presentations all were good. Recently, now Dr. has given presentation on chemical and environmental magnetic analysis of heavy metal contamination in leafy vegetables. Then there was wonderful presentation by Dr. Renu Sharma and Trishali Khanna, which was on the advancing use of fintech services among Indian adults. And India is moving ahead as far as fintech is concerned, technology is concerned. The global average rate is 64%, whereas India is moving at 87%, I would say. So all the presentations were very good. And I thank all the authors, all the participants, because, you know, research is not an easy task. It's an arduous, which requires time, money, and effort, what I say. And really wonderful session, which I really enjoyed as a participant, I would say, not as a chairperson, because, you know, there is no limit to learning. So I thank all the participants. Thank you so much. I'll just compile my result and I'll give to the authorities, the conveners, the coordinators, the organizers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amanpreet, also. Thank you.
Thanks to
Welcome,
you.
ma'am. It was pleasure
the,
to be
yes,
there,
Dr.
and I also gained a lot from this session.
Absolutely. You know, I don't know whether you have seen this session or not. 2-3 presentations on extremely empirical analysis done, and lot much of data collected was very, very wonderful, I would say, though all presentations were very good. And I really thanks to the coordinators and convener of the organizations for giving me opportunity to work as a chairperson for this session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and all the best for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for being there. And thank you, every participant.